What kind of camera do you guys use? Do you guys use professional cameras? Do you just use phones or what?
My iPhone. I use my iPhone.
iPhone?
Actually, if you have an iPhone 10 with 4K, it's shooting 4K.
Right. It's shooting 4K, exactly.
I literally just got to the one because of that reason, though.
4K.
It's like,
honestly,
4K.
I use my Pixel phone and like it has great.
oh, you're a Google?
A Samsung too.
I-
Samsung 10s, Samsung 9.
I am so not a
great
Google
photos
person.
and great videos.
And just use a tripod and put a tripod there.
No, 'cause
Get maybe a second
I
tripod.
have a photographer that wants to. I told him about trying OnlyFans, and he's like, "Oh, I have a professional camera.
Be
if you
careful.
want."
He just wants to hook up with you.
And not
I
only
like
that,
that.
so then he has ownership of your material. Like, it's one of the reasons, like, there's like, I'm not gonna like say names, but there's like production companies on Twitter that are trying to like get people to film at their house and all that. And I would never do that because I then don't own the right to that video. You can post it however you want. You can edit it whichever way you want. My content is my content unless I'm working for a production company and you're paying me thousands of dollars for that, not for my OnlyFans.
Have you guys been reached by any porn production companies?
One or two.
A couple.
They typically hit you around Pride. They'll come in, they'll hit your inbox.
Yeah, some they do.
And don't feel, you don't have to say yes. You literally like explore your options and it's your brand, like I said.
Right. Or even when you film with another person, if that person's filming too, like it's hard to like force them to give you that content, right? They don't have to. You can record your own and they can record their own, but you
You guys don't. You don't share it.
Sometimes
You guys don't post
fuck no,
with.
You're not leaving the house until I get that video.
Like they've sent some stuff over, like WhatsApp, and then they've deleted the content after, so I can't even access it afterwards.
Oh no, I feel like everybody
But I
that I
try
film
not
with.
to. If I'm gonna record, I let them know that I'm happy to share the content with them, but I try not to have too many cameras on, especially if I don't have power to.
No, I've only had that situation once, and I learned from it. Like, it's like if we're not, it has to be a mutual thing. It has to be like literally we're both making money off of this. We're both building an empire. We both are like we're seeing eye to eye with this. It's because I've had that situation. It's like, well, I didn't get that angle or whatever the situation is. It's like no, it's like we're both making money off of this. You have your subscribers. I have my subscribers. Like I want it to be a full. I don't like
Collaboration?
Yes, yeah.
It should be a mutual win for everyone. Yeah.
Unless they're giving the rights, like, oh, I just want to do it with you and you can post it wherever you want.
Right.
Recently I found out like a lot of these guys that I was having anonymous sex with, they should be signing a contract because at any time they could, and guys do not do this, like I would be so pissed if they did this, but they can say take this down because I don't want it up there anymore. Yeah.
But you can also do it on camera. So if you're on camera and they look into the camera and they say, I give you the rights to do whatever you like
So
with
then
this
you have
video.
actual video
They have the
proof.
actual.
Yeah.
In the camera, so the scene is on, you look at the camera and say you have the rights to do
I'm
whatever you
literally
like
about
with
to
this
text
video.
them like, I need you to like ID next to it like.
So
I've had a guy
that's
tell me
form of-
to take down one of the videos.
I've heard those stories and that hasn't happened to me, but I'm like terrified. Like, how did you?
But that's
feel?
because he. Well, I respect it because that's his decision. We made the video, and I mean, and it was just me sucking his dick, and my face was in it. But he was like, "Oh, there's people in my office who are talking about this video. These videos, they get like 100,000 views, 50, 60,000 views, and you don't know who's watching it. But it can go everywhere, all around the world. And people who are downloading, people who are putting it on XTube. I've seen my videos on XTube with crazy ass captions.
I've had situations first of like a friend like just texting me like, "Bitch, I didn't know that you were in whatever place of the United States," and I'm like, "No, I'm not there. I'm home." But there's people that use like, "Oh, send me money and I'll give you a free month of my OnlyFans." Like this is the stuff that people are
So
saying.
they're scamming with your photo.
Yes, and then it's just like. Then people will contact you and it's like, bitch, I'm not giving you a free month. Like, what are you talking about? First of all, that wasn't
And that's
me.
hurting your own brand.
Yeah, because then I'm not giving a free month away, but then I also can't be rude because it's like, I'm sorry that happened to you, but that wasn't my PayPal account. Like, this is my PayPal account.
Well, that's why I asked earlier, like, how do you deal with these people, the fans, or, you know, the subscribers and everything? Because I feel like there's so many people who are not very, you know, I don't want to say, like, the general public is dumb, but they're just very, like, dense.
Uneducated, ignorant.
There's a lot of scammers and a lot of haters that are gonna like try to like spitefully like set you up like, hey, let's do something, and then bail on you or like make you look like feel like an idiot. Yeah. But you have to just filter through like who's realistic and who's not. And
but that's difficult.
That was a huge like mind fuck for me. Like I'm like I'm spending half of my time filtering through the bullshit than the actual like people who
the positive. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. You're filtering through a lot.
I feel like it depends like who you respect. Like I respect like the opinions of people who I respect. Like that's who I pay more mind to. So for instance, I get a lot of like hate mail or just shit just because I'm proudly like HIV positive, and that's definitely on like my Twitter and all my social media outlets, and because I have raw sex as well.
I still struggle with that as an individual. I still like, even though I don't go into these sections as frequently as I do, but sometimes like I want to see like the positive. Some like as I'm sifting through the positive, I do come across those negative moments. Like, what has made you get to this point where you are now? Because I think that's super beautiful. I think that's super admiring that because you do seem very secure within your own skin right now, even just sitting in front of me, like how you are as an individual. And I think that's so beautiful and so admiring and like aspirational, stepping into this industry. Like I would love to get to that point. Like I've gotten to that extent in some way, but how do you deal? Because if I'm getting it, I can only imagine, because you've been doing it for so long, like how do you read these messages that could be very hateful and very personalized to you as an individual and kind of like just walk away from it?
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, your biggest critic is yourself. And once you're like secure in yourself, you know that what anyone else says, if it isn't true, it isn't true. If someone goes and says you're nasty or or like something that isn't true, you're like, that's not true. And that's it. You could just push it to the side. You don't have to deal with that. And I've been like into really, really dark spaces, dealing with like depression, anxiety, and now that I finally found like the light and found myself being secure, then I'm like, I don't want to put myself in this. I don't have to deal with you guys.
Right, you don't want to go back into that same spot. Even if you did, you already went through it, so you know you can get through it again.
Right, and then you don't want to like feed the trolls. You don't want to just
absolutely
engage them. I just like them, and I'll be like, okay, thank you. Like their comment, thank you.
But it's
so
like a
much.
full-time job, like liking all of them.
Right.
So many.
But after a while, you just start scrolling. And you're like, oh, you're a nasty, cock-sucking, HIV positive whore. Good. Something else to add to my list, and I could just,
That's like to me, like that's the surface level, because we can all do that. But I love how you gave like the in depth, because I've heard like just swipe. Because I say sometimes, I'm like, did you subscribe? Perfect. Thank you so much for subscribing. But how do you sit there as a person and deal with the message when all the cameras are off, nobody's in the room? So it's beautiful to know that it's literally just from within you. Like how you just said, it's like, and it makes so much sense. Like if you believe who you are as an individual, doesn't matter what anybody else is saying. You know, going through my own personal situation, a lot of people is like, they bring up a lot of the stuff from my past, like, oh, this is the reason why you're doing it. And when I stop having to debate it and just say like, well, continue believing what you want.
Yeah, you gotta let people think what they want to think, because regardless, you know your own truth, you know your own self.
As long as you know your own self, absolutely, 100%. And that's part of the reason why I left the scene. Why I left OnlyFans specifically is I mentally did not want to tolerate and couldn't tolerate it anymore to a certain extent. And there was too much like traumatic trauma in my mind that I just needed to take a break from it. So yes, I am, I'm labeled as the former OnlyFans worker. Would I go back to it? Absolutely, I love it. That's what I love to do. I was not a fan of it. I don't like the attention. It bothered me in public. It was like, I don't like attention. I don't.
I think that's also like another issue that I have with it. Like I don't want to have all this attention, because I already feel like even on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, Grindr, anything, it's just like people sexualize you and objectify you so easily that it's like, I don't want to have a conversation with you, honestly, because you don't see me nothing more than like a sex object.
Well, and you have to be wary of that.
People
do that all
and
the
people
time.
will try to like,
clubs,
yes,
venues, events,
God.
people
And I
do
hate
not know
that.
consent.
I go dance, and I all the time like even if I have clothes on, like guys do certain things sometimes that I'm just like, and then their go-to is like, but I saw your OnlyFans. It's like, congratulations, thank you so much that you did. I'm happy that you enjoyed that, but right here in this moment doesn't mean yes.
No, it doesn't give them that free pass.
Because they're associated with everywhere you go. You go. I went to Chicago, and it's like they just wanted to grab me. They wanted to see me. They wanted to see me get fucked up and like make a fool of myself, so that they can have something to talk about. So I couldn't even enjoy my entire trip at market days because everyone just wanted to see me either get fucked up or get fucked. Like I'm like.
But you're like, you're still. That's why I
but
asked
not
earlier
working.
about like the difference of like, because I'm pretty authentic all across the board, because I want to give that message, because I feel like that's who me as a little boy wanted to see. Just somebody that that be truthful. Right. But there's like two sides to who I am as an individual, and it's like that offside. people, I don't make them privy to it because it's just like, if they knew it, then they will use that also of like, oh, okay, so you're being this way. Now I know you. Now I know this personal moment of your life. And it's better for somebody at a bar to be like grabbing up on me and talking about, oh, but you go dance, you do this, you did X, Y, and Z, so I can do this. It's like, cool. At least you don't know the other side to this. And now I know who you are as an individual, so I know to keep you in that
Category?
bucket. Yeah.
All right.
Business and pleasure. You walk in, and is this a business opportunity? Is this a brand opportunity, or is this an opportunity to brand your personal Instagram, your personal venture?
I will say that's a risk of like just having like an OnlyFans account or just having a Twitter freak account, is that you're basically conveying one side of you, and that's the problem that I have with platforms like these, is that you're compartmentalizing yourself, right? Like on Twitter, you're this sexual nudist person, and then on Instagram, you're this other person.
Sexual.
Grinder,
Spiritual, sexual.
and like, why can't I be a scholar, a nudist, a family member, like a sexual person?
Yes.
Like
I would say the reason you
everywhere
can't,
or like in one
Wow.
like place.
we
right?
can't because it's how it's
But
in
why?
society.
People don't want to see us
Yeah,
that way.
like look at like the guidelines that Instagram, like these are things that it seems like super like in the moment, but we are almost acclimated into this like norm of like you can't be your whole self 100%
Right.
to everybody because they won't understand it. On Instagram, you have to be a certain way. And like that box situation, like how you were just saying, like it is the truth because you have to like show the world something. You can't be on LinkedIn acting this way. You can't be in the club acting this way because if you're not being a freak at a club, then who are you?
Right.
And it's like
Entertainment. You're an entertainer.
yeah, but that's like it's,
You're more than just that.
yeah.
right?
Then
Correct.
just yeah.
I'm on Instagram, I'm spiritual, tarot card reader, and on Twitter, I'm this freak sexual like
But why
rooftop
can't you be,
explorer.
Why can't you be both, right? Why can't you be a spiritual, like sexual worker?
And then now I have to like put that out there in
Yeah.
order for people to understand that. And one you have to be likable. Like you have to be someone they're going to be open to that opportunity. But it also takes one person to change the industry or change the concept. And I think there's 4 people right here alone, 5 that want to change the way the persona is and the perspective that other people have on it. I guess we can be real simple people, simple guys at the club, but we can also have this other exploratory side to us. That why would I want to keep it closed in the closet? Like gays in the closet. Like it's 2020.
I
Ain't
feel
nobody
like
in the closet.
I feel like
anymore.
gays are still in the closet. I feel like gays like when I get certain messages that I'm just like it makes me sad because I'm like, wow, you're also not living in your truth right now. Like I know how that feels because I've been there before. Like I am in the first time ever in my whole entire life completely just honest with me. I go to sleep with myself, secure with who I am as an individual, and there's certain messages like as simple as like, oh, I want to have sex with you, but do not tell anybody. It's just like, I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, but no, I can't bring that energy into my bedroom. Like, you're a beautiful person, but I'm not you can't come into my domain with all that because
It's a lot to bring into your
Yeah.
space. Because then going out, it's just you were that guy. If it does come out like you were the guy that initiated all of that, and then you seem like the bad guy. It's like, no, I was the one who came
we
to.
will always
I'm
be
the one
the
who came
bad
to
guys.
release.
The
He came
sex
to
workers are always the bad guys.
Right?
It's like
he busted in my bed. I didn't.
yeah, like your boyfriend slid into my DMs, but and
Wow.
I've definitely rejected. I don't do like when I don't know if you guys would do this, but like when it comes to like somebody in a relationship, I'm totally not about it. One, I've been cheated on in the past, so I am not about that. But I also know as a selfish point that if anybody was to find out, oh, that the hoe bitch was the one that was trying to climb.
Right.
Well, I have a question for you because you said earlier that you were thinking about leaving.
Sure.
OnlyFans.
Yeah,
And why do you want to leave?
What I wanted, like, I guess to conclude is like, I want to bring this to the table because I've heard it a couple of times today. It was like mental health, right? When I created my OnlyFans account or even my Twitter account, like I was not in a good place. And this was my way of filling that void, right? It was like I wanted to feel desired. I wanted to feel wanted. And for me to accomplish that, it was me going to a lot of these glory holes, a lot of these like sexual spaces because I felt empowered because for once I felt like I was finally in control because in my real life, I wasn't in control of my life, right? And now that I am in control of my life, I actually feel like I spend less time. Like I literally like have and like I'm not ashamed of saying this, but like I literally have my last follower on OnlyFans, and I'm actually very happy about it because that just means that, you know, I'm ready to go. And I've commented on Twitter actually about this. I was like, I don't think I need this anymore. Like I've like kind of graduated from this, and I feel really secure about it. I actually feel more secure about myself in my real life than I do as a, you know, as a porn person or as a sex worker. So for me, it's just like, okay, like I've reached my peak. I had a lot of fun. I've had so much great sex. Like I can tell you so many stories.
Thank you, OnlyFans.
And it wasn't
And you had it
because
all
of
archived.
OnlyFans, but like, you know,
all
like
video.
I feel very like fulfilled, you know, in my sexual life, and I'm ready to like start a relationship. And like I have someone that, you know, there's someone that I'm seeing now, and like, you know, we had a conversation about this very briefly, and he was very opposed to this, and like without revealing too much, because he still doesn't know that I've done this or done this. You know, I like.
wait,
I
what do
feel
you
like
mean?
I've,
Like-
well, I feel like I was able to change his mind on the subject, because he was like, oh well, you know,
You
I follow
tested the waters
all
first.
So
these
he doesn't
people.
know about your Twitter.
He
about-
does. I mean, I think he like has like a vague idea that I have a Twitter account because I've mentioned it before, but I don't think he's seen my content. And if he has, he hasn't brought it up. But like, I feel.
How do you feel about having that conversation?
I feel
I'm
confident.
like, I'm changing your thing.
I feel
but
confident.
I'm like, this is interesting.
I feel confident having
Well, he's on
this
his way out anyway,
conversation.
so it's gonna be a lot
Yeah.
easier to.
I would like to, so
Yeah.
we were in an open relationship, so this is not like something that would like shook him or whatever, shake him up. But I'm slightly nervous, but I do feel confident that because of this one conversation we've had so far, that he would like understand a bit more, because he didn't have a very good perception of people who were doing this type of work, or who were just like showing their bodies online.
So wait, so how do you have the conversation about OnlyFans but not tell him about it?
Oh, well, because he was just, I mean, it's a long
was-
story.
At the end of the day, he's gonna think it's hot.
No,
But I mean, I
Wow.
agree. I'm going in that similar path as well, which is not, which is exiting like the OnlyFans porn world.
So you want to leave?
Right, right. I feel like for me, I don't have a normal libido when it comes to sex. Like I don't wake up every day horny. I don't always want to have sex. Sometimes I binge on weekends and I have sex with like 10, 15 partners, and then I'll go like 3 or 4 months without having sex.
Do you feel like it started after the whole work thing though?
After, no, I
Like-
think there was just much more pressure
Yeah.
to produce videos. People are paying for it. They want you to.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
People
full-time
don't
job.
realize that sex becomes work, and it's like those. I
Does
thought it was
that does that make you, does that dilute the sex?
It can.
Yes.
It's so much work.
Oh my
Like, it
God.
took so long for me to get this here, or to produce this production. It took me like arm and a leg, and you didn't get anything out of it. It makes you not want to do the next
I'm
one.
just like, damn.
I'm not doing this
Wait,
anymore.
are you doing it for fun, or are you doing full force? Like for fun?
You just have to
and
know why
and
you're
just
doing
wing it?
this. That was my advice earlier. It's like, just know why you're doing
My
this.
my content,
and,
I
like,
already
feel
tell you,
confident.
I already know it's gonna be like more photos, so it's not really gonna be videos.
Yeah. And people do that. I think that people just like, there's like a bigger percentage of people who do sex videos, but like people use OnlyFans for other type of content.
It's literally.
Have you seen the straight women do videos?
No, but I've
Like,
heard about it.
But they do commercials for OnlyFans, and it's like amazing. You would
And they
never
pay,
think
like,
that it's porn.
$20 a month,
You would
and
never
they're-
think it's porn. They're just like sitting there drinking coffee, just talking. Like you can
Are they
go very
clothed?
fully clothed.
I
Like,
wish I was a woman.
and they
because-
live in the middle
It's
of
so
nowhere.
easy for them, right?
But it's
say
just
that?
you can
I don't
you can
think so,
advertise
but
yourself as a
It's
simplistic.
easier.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know too many women who do OnlyFans or who have OnlyFans.
I
accounts.
have done a little bit of research. They make money, and
I'm sure they do,
their
yeah.
price points is a lot higher than the males. They're the ones that you find first. when
What's
you
your
start-
monthly fee?
Yeah, can we
It is
ask?
$10 a month. I also do personal like. videos.
$7.99.
Mine is $7.99 too. It used to be like $12.99.
Mine was $4.99 and it went up to $6.99 and then.
I mean, that's like
I
a drink.
stopped that.
I'd be like, this is similar to
Pornhub
buying me a
Premium
drink.
is $9.99.
Just-
So if you're charging more than $9.99, you're not.
Yeah.
So wait, am I
Once a
charging
month.
too much then?
Pornhub Premium is $9.99.
So the future of Xavier Blanco, hopefully on TV, definitely in fashion, but for most importantly, just continuing who the little boy was that's creating this, and just continuing to make the positive messages I love. So it's just having that platform for people that never felt like they had a platform, whatever that is. May it be Latino, gay, black, white, whatever it is. It's just like, if you're watching me to jerk off, to just feel inspired, just continuing with that. But television and fashion and doing everything that I always dreamed of that I never thought was possible.
My future, I don't see sex work in my future as in my full-time role. I would love to be a support role, so others that are doing it full-time, like let me be a spotlight, let me be there for for a video or two to kind of enhance their moment, because I feel like it is moment by moment. It's a moment, and it might end just like yours might end, just like yours might end, just like mine ended. And I have my own personal spirituality perspective for my future that I'm pursuing. But I still love that aspect, so let me be a support and help you generate revenue or generate content or generate income in that aspect.
For me, my future, I mean, I feel like this would be a stepping stone for me. It's not something that I see myself doing long term, but I do realize, sex work isn't as bad as what people stigmatize it to be. And for myself, I've already been in experiences where I felt like really down, really depressed, just because my nudes were leaked. And now I feel like, I don't have to feel that way all the time, I can, take ownership of that and my body. I am proud of my body. I am proud of who I am. And if I decide to show that, I want everyone else to know, like, this is who I am. And if you want to see it, thank you, subscribe. If you don't, all right, move along.
I think my future, I think I've used sex work as like a platform to build myself. And also, while like being HIV positive and doing sex work, I've given a lot of people like inspiration on how to be more comfortable with their bodies. How to just feel sexy again, especially and not feel stigmatized because you have HIV. I do want to get more into sex work advocacy, HIV advocacy, and then hopefully in the near future just become the first HIV positive congressman.
Yeah.
So,
I'm voting for you.
I'm hoping that by the time this airs, I won't have my OnlyFans account. I think my future looks bright, and amongst the many things that I do, I'm a writer, I'm a cook, I'm a creative technologist, so I'm just excited to like create and build, and like probably again won't have my OnlyFans account, but I would like to keep my Twitter account and maybe have a more artistic approach, so like nudity and like sexual liberation, and similar to you, like be an advocate, because I think that we should all be sex positive. We should all be like very proud of who we are, and like there shouldn't be any stigma behind sex. Like we're all human beings, and we all engage in sex, or we all can engage in sex, and there shouldn't be any shame with that.
Boom boom cat 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 boom boom cat 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 cat. She's a pretty little thing working late at night.